In spite of all the things that divide us in this world, there is one thing we all share. We all have a story. The story of our lives, the story of who we are, the story of our own experience. We all have a story that is uniquely our own. But that uniqueness doesn't separate us. It connects us to the human experience. If you see or hear or read a story that is different from your own, that on the surface bears no resemblance to your story, is it irrelevant to you? Of course not. How many times have you heard a story that has been so absurd or utterly heartbreaking or bizarrely wonderful that you could barely wrap your mind around it, and yet you absolutely felt something when you heard it? How many times have you seen or heard or read a story so different from your own world on the surface, and yet you found pieces of yourself in it by the end? Everyone has a story, and a story is what lives. Stories span generations. Stories are passed down. Stories open us to the shared reality of being alive. And that's what we do in theater. We share stories. What will happen when you see the story of an iconic expedition to the Grand Canyon in 1869 played by all women? When you hear the poet tell the story of the Iliad? When you watch the power of fear infiltrate advertising in the 1960s, 1970s? When you relive the crumbling society that led to the Russian Revolution? What will happen when you look through the telescope with an astronomer who changed the world? When you watch the whirlwind of 76 scenes about everyday people? When you see a football star grappling with a grave mistake? Will you say, "That's not me," or "I wasn't there," or "That couldn't happen"? We bet you won't. In fact, we know you won't. We know you want to engage and connect and jump into someone else's shoes for a brief time and walk around in them and see what's there to see. That's why we do theater. That's why you come to the theater. We share stories. So come with us. At Main Street Theater, we do big theater in an intimate space. We tell the huge stories and the very, very personal ones. We want you to come with us into those stories. What will we find there? What will we feel there? What will we realize there? Or maybe we'll just laugh and be happy in the moment together. That's just it. Whatever we find, we'll find it together. That's what happens in theater when we share stories. Main Street Theater, over 40 years of stories that speak to your heart and excite your mind. Visit mainstreettheater.com to find out more about the stories we can share together, and come see us soon at the theater.